الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب زدني علما وارزقني فهما. My dear brothers and sisters and young ones, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. MashaAllah. I hope you've had a fantastic Ramadan and even more fantastic Eid, inshallah. May Allah bless you with plenty more Ramadans and plenty more Eids, and inshallah Allah Ta'ala accept your ibadat of Ramadan. As they say in Eid, taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum salihah a'malina, mashallah. That may Allah accept all the good actions you've done in Ramadan, your siyam and your qiyam, your tarawees and all your good you've done. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. My friends, yesterday we were in Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib and Hazrat Maulana Abdurrahim Sahib's majlis at HLC in Bolton, the Khanqa, mashallah. And Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib mentioned an amazing point, which Hazrat Maulana Abdurrahim Sahib mentioned also in his Jummah. He mentioned that when you do good actions in the dunya, any good you do, whether it's fasting, whether it's taraweeh, whether it's good conduct to your parent, which is very, very important, or whether it's good conduct to your fellow Muslim brothers and sisters, or whether it's good conduct and nekis to the wider community, Musliman ho ya Musliman na ho, whether it's humans or whether it's animals, then you are entitled to ajr, sawab, reward, recompense from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that recompense will blow your mind when you see it. But the main point was that the ajr, you don't receive that in the dunya. Yeah? You don't receive the ajr in the dunya. And Hazrat mentioned this point. He mentioned that, if I say I'm going to give you maybe a kg of ghee, and you come to me with a small glass, then of course I can't give you the full reward, or the full, in this context, that ghee in that small glass. You need something which can hold a kg of ghee. Similarly, this dunya is not made to hold the reward Allah's promised you for your good actions. That is the hereafter, that is eternity, that is paradise by the grace of Allah. But what you do get in the dunya, when you do good actions, is you get the athar. Athar means the feelings, the effect, the consequences of that good action. So when you do good in the dunya, man amila salihat min dhakrin aw unsa, man amila salihan minkum min dhakrin aw unsa wa huwa mu'minun falanuhyiyannahu hayatan tayyibah. Subhanallah, Allah Ta'ala promises that whoever does good from you, male or female, min dhakrin aw unsa, male or female, if they do good and they are believers, because the condition is that you've got to be a believer. Anything you do entitled for reward, you have to be a believer. That's the prerequisite. So if you are a believer, and alhamdulillah you are, we are, then Allah Ta'ala says that you will get the reward in the next life. But in this dunya, Allah promises you the good life. فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا, we will let them live a good life. Allahu Akbar. This means the athar and the effect and the consequences of your good actions you'll feel in the dunya. Your life in the dunya will become bliss. You will be happy and content. Your heart will be at peace. Allah will give you obedient children, give you a good lifestyle, a good house. You will have so much risk in different forms. These are, and you'll go to sleep and you'll sleep a good sleep, because your mind will not be tormented by various anxieties. Why? Because this is the consequence and the action, the results, and more importantly, the effect of your good deeds. Every good deed has an effect, a good effect. Reading Quran, tilawat has an amazing effect. Fasting has an amazing effect. Reading salat, whether it's farz or nafil, has its own effect. Every good action you and I do, Allah Ta'ala has imbued it with an effect, and that effect surrounds you and precedes you and is around you. MashaAllah. So if you do good actions, and this is an incentive to do good actions, MashaAllah, keep doing them until the Quran Sharif says, Hatta ya'tiyakal yaqeen, until death comes to you, and in return, you will get an amazing, blissful life in the dunya. And in the next life, your ajr will be waiting for you. May Allah Ta'ala be pleased with us. But my friends, what we tend to do in the dunya is that, we do good actions in the sense that we, fulfill Allah's laws to the best of our abilities, but we don't look after our bodies, which is also a very, very important thing to do. This body is like a vessel. It's an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't belong to us, it's Allah's. And we need to look after it. And we really, really kind of fail to understand what this body runs on, what its needs are, what its hukuk are. And right at the top of the list is when it comes to diet. We don't look after our body with the correct diet. We fill this body of ours, and if you see some of the small arteries and capillaries and veins inside you, you will be shocked. So small. The lumen is so small. And then we are having kebabs and bakoras and samosas and bhajiyas and God knows what else we have. La ilaha illallah. Really, we need to get past this state of being kind of ashiks of these bhajiyas and kebabs and bakoras, because they are ruining your cardiovascular health, and that's a fact. But more than that, even more dangerous is what? More dangerous than that is our consumption of sugar. Sugar is the root cause of all illness. Sugar causes type 3 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes. It causes, all major cardiovascular events. It causes MIs. It causes cholesterol to go crazy. Sugar causes inflammation in the body. Sugar is the biggest disturber of all. You have something called ESR levels, erythromycin sedimentation rate. You have something called C-reactive protein, again, markers of inflammation. You have interleukin 6. These are all markers of inflammation. When you have an infection, your ESR levels go through the roof. They normally should be in single digits. When you have an infection, mild to moderate, they go double digits. But when you have a severe, life-threatening infection, it goes over 100. And this is what sugar can do to you and to me. So sugar needs to be understood as the enemy, your enemy, my enemy. Why? Because it might taste very, very sweet, but its direct consequences are something that we suffer when we go to the hospital. And with diabetic complications, gangrene, and our toes or fingers, or the toes and fingers of our loved ones are actually amputated. Yeah, this is all to do with sugar. It tastes very nice. It tastes very, very nice, but it causes phenomenal damage. And when you have iftari and you see on these dattar khans, you see iron brew, yeah. You see these other things like Rubicon drinks. You don't see, mashallah, Coca-Cola. May Allah keep us safe from having any of this rubbish. But even these iron brew, all these things, they're full of sugar. And then you see all these other things. You see this fast food. Fast food, my friends, is known as junk food for a reason. It's known as junk food for a reason. If you had a nice, lovely Mercedes-Benz car, or you had some other, very good car, like a BMW or Audi or other expensive cars, you'd be very careful of what you put into the fuel tank, wouldn't you? You'd never let it run on, just vapors. You'd make sure that biodiesel. Jazakallah Mu'assir Sahib. Mu'assir Sahib is my friend in the control room, and this little thing, he tells me all nice things. Mu'assir Sahib, tell me some car names, yeah. Some big car names. Mu'assir Sahib to chalate Mercedes. Huh? Chalo, Mu'assir Sahib saying just say luxurious cars, everything's covered. ठीक है, तो luxurious cars के अंदर आप, you will not put biodiesel, vegetable oil, will you? No. आपको तो ख्याल करना पड़ेगा ये गाड़ी के बारे में, क्लॉग ना हो जाए, फिल्टर खराब ना हो जाए, engine खराब ना हो जाए, अल-इयादु बिल्लाह. You be careful. The body Allah has given you. Will you take 10 Mercedes Benz in return for having one day on the dunya? After that, you're going to leave the dunya? the price for one day. No, you won't. You will not take 10 Mercedes Benz or 10 luxury cars in return for one day of your life. You won't. So then, why do we abuse our bodies so much with this diet? It's better to be, yani ke, keep a fast than have this, these foods. And the same thing applies with biscuits full of hydrogenated fats and margarines and these other, most snacks that you get are absolutely unhealthy for you. I'm not a killjoy. I'm just telling you the facts. If you look at this NHS budget of 165 billion, what's it going on? It's going on all these NHS appointments and falan, medications, etc. And most of our diet, the diet of the UK diet is, we're the most obese people in Europe. It's crazy. And then from these people, the Asian community, they're right at the top for all the wrong reasons: cholesterol levels, hypertension levels, diabetes type 1, type 2 levels, or cardiovascular related major events. The Asians are at the top. And why? Because our diet is the worst, full of, rancid fats and kharab fats. One of the best things for your heart health is what? Olive oil. Drink olive oil, Mediterranean diet. 3-4 tablespoons a day you should drink, just to clean your whole arteries out, your venous supply out, keep your all your arteries nice and soft and supple. Yeah, get rid of the cholesterol. How many guys have got high cholesterol? Har aadmi, in every house there's people with high cholesterol. Every house has got somebody with diabetes. Every house somebody's got with hypertension, and we just accept it. And मौत तो उस वक्त आती जिस वक्त अल्लाह को अल्लाह ने मुक़द्दर की है, लेकिन we've got a role to play in looking after our bodies. We need to change our diets. The key thing is, number 1, change diet. Number 2, exercise. Exercise is not just for people with it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Luxury नहीं है exercise वर्जिश करना, ये necessity है और ज़रूरतन करना लाजमी है और ये ज़रूरियात में से है. Everybody should exercise. Every man, woman and child should be exercising. Aajkal to there's a big talk about high intensity interval exercise, HIIT, high intensity interval training. What that means is that you don't have to have an entire 1 hour for exercise. You can do it in a few minutes. What you do, example, you got stairs in your house. So first of all, 1 minute you go up and down slowly, get warmed up. Then the next 30, you can do it 30 seconds. 30 seconds you do nice and soft and aista, you get warmed up. And then the next 30 seconds you go up, down them stairs as if the Malakul Maut is after you. You go up, down them stairs like you are a crazy man or woman. You go up, down them stairs like your life depends on it. That's how fast you go. Okay, maybe not the stairs, you can go outside in the yard and do something. But whatever you do it with full life, soul and all your breath, and your body should be in the activity. Then you stop. 30 seconds. So 30 seconds warm up, 30 seconds you do that up and down them stairs for as long as it takes with a stopwatch. Then 30 seconds you have a rest. Then again you do the same thing. 30 seconds. Then again you have a rest. You do this maybe 5 times. That's it. That is all you need to do. Obviously you have to be careful. If you've never done this before, if you do it like this, then maybe you will be in a bad state, a worse state than you will be in the beginning. So you do it very, very carefully. Let your GP know as well. Take it easy. Build up. But it's a very, very good thing to do. High intensity interval training. Max Mosley और बड़े बड़े जो अतिब्बा हैं इसके कायल हैं और बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त तरीका है आदमी की तवानगी को बढ़ाने के लिए, सेहत को यानी कि बरकरार रखने के लिए, और सेहत अगर चली भी गई हो उसको वापस यानी खींच कर लाने के लिए. हाई इंटेंसिटी इंटरवल ट्रेनिंग इसको कहलाते हैं. लोग समझते हैं कि भाई वर्जिश करना ये होता है कि जिम को जाएं, कपड़े पहने और यानी बाकायदा जाकर इतनी तैयारी करनी पड़ती है. लेकिन ये जो HIIT ट्रेनिंग होती है, हाई इंटेंसिटी इंटरवल ट्रेनिंग, ये इसके लिए लाजमी नहीं है. आदमी घर के अंदर भी कर सकता है. और इसका तरीका ये है कि आदमी मर्द हो या औरत हो, शुरू में अपने जो जिस्म है उसको तैयार करे एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता चलना शुरू कर ले. अगर कोई यानी स्टेप्स हो तो उनके ऊपर नीचे आहिस्ता जाए ताकि दिल की धड़कन कुछ आहिस्ता आहिस्ता रफ्ता रफ्ता तेज़ हो जाए. इस 30 सेकंड के लिए करें या 60 सेकंड 1 मिनट के लिए इस तरह करें. इसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट 30 सेकंड है आदमी पूरी तौर पर अपनी पूरी ताकत के साथ वो वर्जिश करे. चाहे ये हो कि आदमी चहलकदमी करता हो और बहुत तेज़ करे, या अगर आदमी के अंदर हिम्मत हो और यानी आदमी भागना शुरू करे तो भागने यू शुड रन. या अगर इस तरह भी ना हो तो अपने घर के अंदर जो यानी स्टेयर्स होती हैं उनके ऊपर आप जाएं, लेकिन बहुत तेज़ जाएं. इतना तेज़ जाएं कि दिल की धड़कन तेज़ होती जाए. और ये आप करें 30 सेकंड के लिए, या अगर आपने 1 मिनट को इख्तियार किया तो 1 मिनट के लिए करें। इसके बाद आपको 30 सेकंड के लिए बस आराम के साथ you need to calm down and relax 30 seconds or for a minute. इसके बाद you're going to do it again. इसके बाद दोबारा आपको ये 30 सेकंड के लिए जो आप एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं, चाहे दौड़ना है, चलना है, या going up the stairs, या और भी चीज़ें हैं, you can do squats, you can do the burpees, you can do so many things. जो कुछ आप कर रहे हैं या करना चाहते हैं वो आप बिल्कुल कुल्लियतन पूरी ताकत और पूरी जान के साथ आप वो करते जाएं, लेकिन सिर्फ 30 सेकंड्स के लिए या 1 मिनट के लिए। फिर आप ब्रेक लें, अपने जिस्म को रेस्ट दें, आपने जो यानी कि आपके सांस बरकरार हो जाए 30 सेकंड्स, एंड देन यू डू अगेन। सो यू डू दिस 5 टाइम्स, 5 मतलब आपको करना है। इससे आपको बहुत ही फ़ायदा होगा, बहुत ही दिल का फ़ायदा, दिमाग का फ़ायदा, यानी कि आपका हार्ट डिजीज़ का रिस्क नीचे जाएगा। लेकिन ये नहीं कि एक मतलब कर कर आप बैठ जाएं, बल्कि हर दिन आप करते जाएं। एवरी डे यू नीड टू डू दिस। जिस तरह हम पर नमाज फ़र्ज़ है ना, तो इसी तरह जिस्म का ख्याल करना भी फ़र्ज़ है। जिस्म का ख्याल करना फ़र्ज़ है, बहुत ही लाजमी है। आजकल तो घर घर के अंदर किस्म किस्म की बीमारियां हैं, हाइपरटेंशन है, डायबिटीज़ है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल के लोगों को तकलीफ़ है, एंग्जाइटीज़ हैं। एंग्जाइटी का तो बेहतरीन इलाज अव्वलन तो अगर किसी के अंदर आयरन की कमी हो, आयरन की कमी हो और बी विटामिन ना हो, तो उनके लिए तो ये स्पेशली द लेडीज़, आयरन की कमी, साइट्रन लिक्विड आयरन बहुत अच्छा है, या B50 कॉम्प्लेक्स विटामिन बीज बहुत अच्छे हैं। सुबह के वक्त ये जो ओट्स होते हैं, दलिया, वो खाएं। ये जो अच्छी योगर्ट होती है, देसी योगर्ट, ग्रीक योगर्ट, वो खाएं। ये सब चीज़ें एंग्जाइटी के लिए लाजमी हैं। ये जो B50 और आयरन के बारे में मैंने कहा, ये तो इस वास्ते होता है कि जब आयरन की कमी होती है तो ऑक्सीजन की कमी होती है, या लेस ऑक्सीजन, और घबराहट होती है पहली बात, और असल में नर्वस सिस्टम कमज़ोर हो जाती है। तो ये बी विटामिन और आयरन वगैरह नर्वस सिस्टम को मजबूत करती है, उसको सहारा देती है। और ये जो और फॉरेज भी नर्व्स को मजबूत करने के लिए सबसे बेहतरीन 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 ग़िज़ा है। फॉरेज इज़ द बेस्ट kind of breakfast for nerves. It steadies your nerves like nothing else does. The medicine that's made from oats is known as avena sativa. Avena sativa is given by physicians, homeopathic physicians, physicians, naturopathic physicians, for people who have got weaknesses or who are neurasthenic and they are very, very nervous. It just makes them very, very strong. So oats is very good for anxiety. And the third thing, which I mentioned, which is natural yogurt or kefir or kombucha, these things create the good bacteria in your stomach. And good bacteria is phenomenal for so many things, for your gut health. And your gut health is everything. Your immune system, 80% is in your gut. It's very, very good for your mind. People get depressed because their gut is in a bad state. The link between the mind and the gut is well documented. So if you have got issues with depression, anxieties, you need to sort your gut out. Cut all the sugars out. Cut all this rubbish, junk food out, and in return have clean foods. Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kulu min at-tayyibat wa a'malu salihah. O believers, eat kulu min at-tayyibat. Tayyib, halal, absolutely. But tayyib also wholesome foods. What is wholesome? Is that chicken wholesome that's been pumped full of steroids, estrogen, progesterone for 3 weeks until it grows like a 3-year-old and then it comes to your place? Is that better? Or is a free-range organic chicken better, which is fed mint and parsley and natural things, and then it comes to your table? Is that better? Which is better? Is that cow better, which is grazing next to motorways and all the pollution is going inside it? So much pollution that the entire areas around the motorway, all the greenery is finished because of the pollution. Is that meat better for you, or is organic Wagyu beef, for instance, better for you? It's a no-brainer. So, kulu min at-tayyibat, eat wholesome food. Allah is directly ordering us to eat wholesome food. But the sad thing is, they don't teach you this in school. What is wholesome food? No, unfortunately, you got to do your own research. So, wholesome food is a must. So, eating wholesome food looks, makes your body very, very healthy. So, this HIIT, high intensity interval training, is a must for most people, and it's not an option. It should be done regularly. So I was saying that sugar is very, very dangerous. You need to get rid of sugar, and you need to make sure that you stay away from it as much as you can. Especially in social gatherings, everyone has these these fizzy carbonated drinks. These fizzy carbonated drinks not just destroy your natural insulin it makes it more resistant. Not just that, it also leaches calcium and magnesium and boron from your bones. And certain, people in society, especially postmenopausal women, they are very prone to fractures, pelvic girdle fractures. Why? Because the estrogen levels already has become very, very less. Example, the progesterone levels. So then they have a small fracture, they go to hospital. Unfortunately, in hospital, while they're recovering, they catch pneumonia, and many female ladies succumb and they pass away. So it's very important that they have good nutrition, they avoid sugar. Another thing I want to add here, that if you are in that state where you're 50, 60, even 45, what you need to do is you need to start doing light weights. Light weights, weightlifting is not, it brings to mind images of lycra clad bodybuilding men. Weightlifting is phenomenally good for something called metabolic disease. Metabolic disease means high blood pressure, high cholesterol and diabetes. To get rid of that as a prophylactic action, weightlifting is amazing. It's just so amazing. Weightlifting is a must for everybody. And you can do light weights, no problem. And especially ladies who are 40, 50, they should consider this. It has so much benefit. There's a plethora of benefit in weightlifting. You don't have to have heavy weights. Light weights are fine. Make it into a routine. Exercise करना, वर्जिश करना बहुत ही लाजमी है सेहत के लिए. Heart disease is the biggest killer in the world. Heart disease is the single biggest killer in the world. And as I mentioned, the Asian community are right at the top of the fatality list. May Allah Ta'ala keep us safe. Today, inshallah, after the break, I'm going to go through, there's two things I want to go through today. There's a remedy called sepia, which is amazing female remedy, a gynae remedy. It's a remedy for people who can't have children. Allah has put so much asr in it that so many ladies have children after this remedy. Why? It's a gynae remedy. A remedy for irregular periods, for uterine displacements, for irregular periods, and so much more. Sepia is an amazing remedy. I'm going to quickly go through that today, briefly, and then continue next week, inshallah. I'm also going to go through a list of 8 foods which are so good for your brain and cognition and for memory, inshallah ta'ala. Please stay with us. After the break, we're going to continue with the program, and आपको बहुत ही फायदा होगा. And you need to really educate yourself when it comes to these nutritional products and supplements, because the industry isn't really bothered. As long as you can spend your pounds in their stores buying sugary foods, they are happy, and the responsibility isn't with them. The responsibility is with yourselves. We have families, we have children, and the health of us as a nation is declining rapidly. And the phone line is live as well. If you want to call in, please do call in. Any health concerns, any questions, please call in to the studios. Until after the break, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.